Hello class, this is 3.4 Later Peoples of the Fertile Crescent, and I'm going to talk about the main ideas, the big ideas, and go through each of the sections. First we have the main ideas, which are number 1, the Babylonians conquered Mesopotamia and created a code of law. 2, invasions of Mesopotamia changed the region's culture. 3, the Phoenicians built a trading society in the eastern Mediterranean region. And these all build up to the big idea, which is after the Sumerians, many cultures ruled parts of the Fertile Crescent. So the main idea of this lesson is that it was not just the Sumerians who ruled in this area of Mesopotamia between the rivers and in that area. A lot of other groups came in and took over and ruled for stretches of time. All right, so first we have the Babylonians conquer Mesopotamia. And the big idea here, the big person that you need to know about that ruled the Babylonians was Hammurabi. Okay, Hammurabi was king of Babylon in 1792 BC. He was a great military leader, but he wasn't just a great military leader. He was a great leader in general, and he was great at organizing the people. And so he was important in building and irrigation projects, which he funded with an improved tax system. He was important in increasing trade, and his biggest thing would be Hammurabi's code, his code of law that he created. So we talked briefly about this when we read the section, but the idea being, well, there's a lot of different types of laws here, but some of the laws were along the lines of an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. We read the one about if you break a man's bone, right, his bone shall be broken. There was a lot of inequalities within his laws because it was a different time period. So let's say if you injured a slave versus injuring a free man, the penalty wouldn't be as harsh on you if you injured a slave versus a free man, that sort of thing. But we will look more at Hammurabi's code next week. But looking here again, just to review, he was a great military leader. He built and funded irrigation projects with an improved tax system. So you can see up here this picture of an irrigation system that carried water to their crops, and he was important in increasing trade in the region. Next we have invasions of Mesopotamia, beginning with the Hittites. The Hittites took over the region, and they had a military advantage due to iron working, which is working with iron and creating more advanced weapons, and they created the chariot as well, a special chariot. So here you can see that picture with the driver, the shield bearer, and the armored spearmen. Next we have the Assyrians, who conquered the Hittites, and they were pretty ruthless because when they conquered the Hittites, what they would do is they would burn the crops of those people, they would loot their villages, and they would demand heavy taxes of them, and if anyone refused to give them their taxes, they would kill them. And they ruled through local leaders and also built a series of roads in the region, which would make it easier to get around and easier to trade and all of that. Okay, next we have the Chaldeans. With the Chaldeans, they conquered the Assyrians, and the big name you need to know amongst the Chaldeans is Nebuchadnezzar, which is the picture up here on the right. He rebuilt Babylon into an impressive city. He forwarded progress in Babylon, and one of his claims to fame would be the creation of the Hanging Gardens, which there's 3 pictures here. A rendering on the left, and then I believe these are both on the right in the center. Video game renderings. I think one might be Minecraft and one might be The Sims or something, but it was supposedly a really spectacular thing to see. All right, last we have the Phoenicians. Okay, so the Phoenicians, they did not have a strong army, but they were able to build up their wealth through trade. Um, they were able to build a wealthy trading society. One of their most important things that they traded was cedar wood, which you can see in this picture here. They were expert sailors with fast fleets, and they were able to build colonies all over the Mediterranean by using these ships and fleets. But probably the thing that they contributed to society that still to this day is probably the most important is their alphabet, right? They created one of the world's first alphabets, which obviously we have an alphabet in our language, and so that was a very important um, creation on their part. All right, so again, after the Sumerians, many cultures ruled parts of the Fertile Crescent. Thanks.